Okay, so we are starting now Unit 6.
Oh my goodness.
We're getting there because there are only 7 units.
Oh my goodness. What is it?
Unit 6 is on simple harmonic motion.
Simple harmonic. Do they sing?
No.
Darn.
Okay, so we are now in chapter 10 of our book. So I'm going to start with section 1, the ideal spring. So harmonic motion can be thought of just like in most simply as like the repetitive movement of something. And so I've got my Hooke's law apparatus here. Hooke's law is what we will use like Hooke's law is to harmonic motion as Newton's law is to like force. Like you can think about harmonic motion as like well, I pulled it down a little bit too far. But like the constant movement of this spring, it'll like if air resistance and friction were not a thing, once you set this in motion, the ideal spring, I'm terrible at this, will go on forever and ever.
Oh yeah, but like in the actually.
And so just like ideal gases have exceptions and there are things that we like make assumptions for with ideal gases. Ideal springs are the same way. So the ideal spring, we just have to define a couple of things. So I'm going to do this. This will be opposite of what my notes actually say. So if you look at my notes, it'll be like a different drawing. But because we have this lovely apparatus here, I'm just going to start going again. I want to do it like in the same way. So when the spring is just by itself, and it's not in motion, or there are no weights attached to it. Let me get, I can't be trusted. Let me just find a spring that's by itself.
It's more like a caterpillar.
I know, right? So this would be an example of an unstrained spring.
Wait, this other one is strained?
This one is strained because it is being, like a force is applied to it.
Okay.
So unstrained means that it's just being left alone. And so this would be an example of an unstrained spring because it's just like, it's in its normal position.
Yeah.
Okay, so then a force can be applied in 2 different ways. So it can either be compressed. So the force would be applied in this direction then.
Yeah, and then touch smaller.
And so then this would be compressed. And do either of you have a click pen? Oh, but you have your mechanical pencil has also a spring in it. When you push it down, you are applying a force that compresses it.
Yeah.
And then you can also have a spring that where the force applied to it elongates the spring. And so that would be the example here. So if we like really prayerfully stop this, you can see that the length of even though these springs start out with like the exact same measurements, you can see that the elongated spring is like its distance is farther. Or like the distance it takes up is farther because it's being pulled apart.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what its function is. And then if we take another spring, I mean, we could have put this away properly. Now these springs are already like, they're pretty tight, so there's not like a lot of gap in between them. And so compressing it like doesn't really do much because it's already like as close together as it can be. So this is maybe not a great example, but you can see that it's a little bit shorter than the non-compressed.
Ms. Bishop,
Yes.
don't pull them too hard, otherwise you'll get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because they'll break.
Servers are very clear on.
Yeah. I have no problems thinking that you will overstretch my springs, but okay. So, this is the distance of the unstrained spring. I'm gonna draw a red solid line here through that. Now, the difference in distance between the end of the spring when it's in its unstrained form and when it's in its elongated form is the displacement of the spring. So if this is the end here, this line here would be the displacement of the spring, and we use the variable x to denote displacement. And so Hooke's law states that the force applied to displace the spring, which is why we have F sub x, so this is the force that's being applied to the spring, is equal to k times x. Okay, so x is the displacement, and displacement is measured in meters. And then what is k? K is the spring constant.
Well, that's constant. I love constants.
And so for every spring has its own constant, and it's just a measure of like how hard to pull the spring. Like how hard is it to pull it? So this spring I can like stretch pretty easily, and it's like I'm not getting a workout by like pulling it. It's a nice little so it would have a low K.
Okay.
The spring of like a garage door, for example, like the garage door opener mechanism, has such a high K value that like it's dangerous to even work with.
Okay.
So the spring constant depends on the type of spring, and if we know this, we can determine how much force is needed to displace the spring a certain amount, or it can be calculated if we know any of these variables. Okay, so what I want to talk about now is why is harmonic motion important?
Would a
spring work in space, or would it just?
It would, as long as you apply a force to it.
So if I open my spring space, it'd come back together.
Mm-hmm. It would.
That's kind of crazy.
Okay, so now let's talk about what harmonic motion can do for us.
Well, what if there's like a spring in space and there's like a force attached to it, but would it still like drop? Because you need gravity for that to like pull it down.
Mm-hmm. A force needs to be applied. Mm-hmm. And like so here, the force that's being applied is mass times gravity.
Yeah. So if this exactly was in space, it wouldn't really do anything then.
If there's not a because right now there's a constant force.
Yeah.
Because gravity exists. So in order for it to do something, there would have to be a constant force. Yes.
So crazy.
Okay, so now let's take a look at harmonic motion. If we had some way to make like a recording of what was happening with this spring, we might want to do it, like we might want to think about it in a different orientation. Or like perhaps what we would have is a piece of paper here, and we had like a little marker on the end of the spring, of the end of the weights. And so as this moved, like if you had like a piece of paper that like made a ticker tape and moved in this, I'm trying to try to do it on the video so that Lindsay can see. Okay, so let's imagine that we have a little piece of paper that's going to move in this direction as the spring oscillates up and down.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And if we put a little marker on this spring, what would happen? What would it look like as if?
It's like one of those.
What does this look like to you?
The sign.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Okay, so let's draw this out here.
The ocean.
It looks like an ocean. Okay, so.
You sound like Michael Jackson there for a second.
Nina did?
No, you did.
What? What did I say that sounded like Michael Jackson?
At least how you said the ocean.
Ocean.
No, they're ignorant.
It's all lies.
I love that episode, The Jeffersons. Have you seen that episode?
No.
So, it's Michael Jackson was in town, and he's just like becomes friends with all the kids.
Oh.
Okay, so this like dash line here in the middle is like our 0 position. This would be the position of the unstrained spring. Okay, so we can think about this as a wave. What is the crest of the wave called?
What is that? The compressed one?
Like no, so this is just like the pattern that we drew from our
The maximum?
yeah, like what okay, so maybe you don't know this. The maximum is called amplitude.
Oh, yeah, no.
Is that a word that you've ever heard?
I didn't know it was used for this.
That is abbreviated capital A. So we if we have an ideal spring, whatever your amplitude is, like your farthest distance up, is the same in the down direction as well.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that we're like making these assumptions, or we are
And this is only for the ideal one or for
right? No, it's for the ideal one, because obviously at some point friction and air resistance will cause this to not. It'll cause it to stop.
Okay.
And so we're going to pretend that that doesn't happen though.
Yes.
So A is amplitude, and that is also known as the maximum displacement. Because you're never going to be able to get your spring to go any higher or lower than these points on that pretend graph that we made. Okay, so your unstrained position is also known as the equilibrium position. In just the same way that we would use that word in chemistry, equilibrium, that it's like the medium part where there's like no net change in either direction.
That makes sense. Everything's coming together.
Okay, so let's take a look at some examples of how to use Hooke's law. Remember, Hooke's law, it's abbreviated, or I'm sorry, it's spelled H-O-O-K-E, Hooke's law, and it's equal to force times K times X. Sometimes you will see this variation of Hooke's law where you have the negative symbol. Remember that negative just indicates direction. And so you'll use either one of these depending on your frame of reference.
Okay.
And that's why, like, remember earlier in the semester, like, or in the year, long times ago, we learned that frame of reference is a thing, because that's how you determine the sign of everything. All right, so I'm going to do a couple examples. Let's start with number 1. This would be on page 303.
How's the leadership class going?
Oh, I feel like it's going great.
Are you learning about
Not you taking my book, bro.
Not yet, but we'll get to
The
dictators.
book's over there.
He just stole your book, didn't
He
he?
did. You should.
He's a
teach
special
about-
friend.
You should teach about that in leadership.
It's called appeasement, Nina. Just give it to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I should totally.
Speaking about special friends. Yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead. So last night Joe was at Dad's house, and Dad and Steph were like babysitting her kid, like their niece and nephew.
Uh-huh.
And they were playing this game where it was like alligators, like save the baby alligators, and like three people were like the research scientists, and 2 people were the alligator protectors.
That's pretty advanced for like little kids.
And Joe was playing, yeah, he was one of the alligator he and Dad were the alligator savers, and the alligators were these pillows that they had to keep away from the scientists who were trying to harm the baby alligators. And
This
like,
whole plot and everything.
yes.
Wow.
and apparently Dad was wearing this cheetah print onesie that my mom had given him for Christmas like 10 years ago that doesn't really fit anymore. So he couldn't like zip it up all the way because he's a build bigger than he was back then. You know, as you do. And like as they were like playing and like trying to go for the pillows, it like got more and more unzipped,
No,
Oh no.
no.
and his undie pants came out. And then, but like, okay, so you know, I don't know if I ever told you this. I can't believe this is gonna be on a recording. I don't know if I ever told you this, but he used to wear my underwear.
You
Yeah,
told us,
he told
yes.
us this.
What?
Carmen,
That's crazy.
Carmen, it has. She's gonna throw up in her mouth.
I don't remember
What's
this.
the actual? I remember hearing this. That's
Yeah.
like if you wore your thongs and shit.
Like no, just like my bikinis. But then I'd always be like, okay, those are yours now, because like,
What?
Oh.
No. and so, like he wears like. I always called them his manties because they're made for men because like they've got like the bigger pouch in the front, right? Like we don't need that. And yeah, so then like little Benny was like, "Are you wearing a diaper? What is that? Are you wearing a diaper?" And then I was like, "Okay, but Joe, like how bad was it?" And I was like, "Did his skibbity bips come out?" And he's like, "Well, you could definitely see a bulge."
No. Cut the camera.
Cut the camera.
Are you recording this right now?
Yeah, Lindsay will hear this. And I was already like not feeling well when he was telling me this last night, and I was like,
Did you eat dinner before that?
no, because I just had gotten home. It was like 9 o'clock. I just had gotten home from school, and like I hadn't eaten anything, and I was like, gonna throw up in my mouth a little.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
Poor Joe.
poor-
I know. I feel so bad for him. Like, and then I was like, well, did he was he like quick to like cover it up? He's like, no, he just kept his like thing on.
No,
on-
stop. No.
And I was
there's
like, that
no
is like
way.
the most pervy thing ever. Okay, number one.
Okay, I'm pretty
There are several reasons I divorced this man's. A hand exerciser utilizes a coil spring. Do you guys know what that is?
A
A
hand?
hand exerciser,
Oh yeah, like it looks like a V thing.
and it's got like a spring in
Yeah,
between.
Yeah.
A force of 89 newtons is required to compress the spring by X equals 0.0191 meters. Determine the force needed to compress the spring by 0.0508.
Okay.
Okay, so I want us to use Hooke's law to help us solve this problem.
Okay, it's gonna be the same constant, right?
Yes, so let's
Okay.
solve for K.
I think we got this.
I got the answer.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Turner,
Miss Bishop, did he wear your underwear like in public or just like around the house?
Like, I don't know, but like I would sometimes like find them in the laundry
Oh,
and I
God.
knew that I hadn't worn them.
no.
And then I would confront him about it and I was like, dude. And he's like, well, like they feel really nice. And I'm like, yeah, of course they do. Like, I spend a lot of money on them.
What do you imagine?
At that point,
It's just like
just buy
underwear,
nicer
like-
underwear.
His dad would be very disappointed if you
Yeah.
did that. You
Just
should just tell his dad, just be like, your son wore my underwear.
That is crazy.
that would be bad.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I tell you, it's a new special time every day.
That is.
So did you get an answer there, Carter?
Yeah, 236.71.
That's what I got as well. Okay, so it's important to remember that K is constant for a spring. And so if you know K for one set of circumstances, you know it for something else as
Yeah.
well. Okay, so now let's take a look at what
Wait, I
would
have
be
a question.
something. Yes, ma'am.
Does a constant have a what's it called?
Does it have a unit? Yes, it does. It's newtons per meter.
Newtons per meter. Got it. Awesome. Thank you.
So I think that's so aggressive.
That was really aggressive. Actually, that hurt my feelings.
Okay, so let's take a look at another one. Let's do number 9.
How old is that kid,
Which kid? Benny?
Benny?
Ooh, he's maybe in 2nd or 3rd grade. I know, right?
Wow.
These are formative memories
I think I'd
here.
be able to sleep.
Yeah, core memories. No.
I think that just ruined my
Like,
week.
seeing, it's his uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing your uncle's pack.
No.
Dang, that's
Stop.
gonna be like
Stop.
there's gonna be like a repressed memory that he's going to talk in
I
therapy
saw
about.
Yeah.
Uncle's lunar pic on his phone. And
Oh.
Yeah, that's a no.
he was showing me
No,
memes.
stop,
He's like
stop.
that person where he has memes on, so he's showing
Yeah.
me and he was scrolling. I was like, I gotta go. Bye.
That's traumatizing.
What you got there, pal? All right, number 9.
That's the person hearing.
That's
In
actually
a-
really awful.
0.750 seconds, a 7-kilogram block is pulled through a distance of 4 meters on a horizontal frictionless surface starting from rest. You're gonna have to share for everyone now.
You can't show this on the
No,
video.
we can't.
You can't show that on the video. We'll share after the video's over.
I might have to just delete. I'm gonna have to edit that Cal's comments out. How much does the spring stretch?
That's
Okay, so now there really are 2 different x values that we have to take into account here. The first x is the distance that's being, like the force is being applied over for the block, not for the spring. And so I'm just going to call x spring the displacement for the spring so that we don't get confused by those 2 distances. Okay, so a couple of things we already know. If we're looking at Hooke's law formula, in order to solve for,
it's a force spring, isn't it?
well, we're looking for x. We're looking for x. So we want F divided by K. We know what K is. We're going to need to figure out what the force applied is, right?
Yeah.
So how do you find force?
We've got time, we've got mass, we've got
But how would you just find force?
mass card.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that means we're going to need to find acceleration using,
The
VF. Well, first we
is
point.
that the 2ax one?
we're
Wait,
gonna
no, we have time.
we
though.
have time,
We
so
need
we're gonna
time.
need one of the OG formulas,
Yeah,
right?
We need VF. Fine, watch this. I'm gonna do this in give me like 2 minutes.
Okay. Can I borrow a calc?
Yeah, there's one up. Here.
Thank you. I might have left mine in the library actually. Like the public library. That was there.
In the public library.
I was there yesterday.
Do you know in the public library you can get like slips to go like mini golfing for free?
What? Hey, pal.
Was he
What was
pissed that I went in there?
Yeah, he was so much chicken.
what was he yelling about before then though?
I don't know.
There's just so much yelling.
Yeah.
What the hey?
Did he say anything after I left?
No.
No, because he just like is mad in the moment. Like he just like
Oh,
wants.
because I'm not teaching right now. That's what he said. He was like, oh, because I'm not teaching right now.
Yeah. He said it twice. He said it back there too.
What did he like say to you back there?
He was like,
No, I did this one to find VF.
I don't know. He was just like, I'm
And I can do this
teaching.
one.
Like, don't you think this is a bad time? Like, no.
She just wanted an excuse to go back.
Yeah, I was like, can you find
To go in
me
your classroom. Yeah, yeah. We're just poking the bear today. That's all.
Yeah, that's so true.
Go in there for someone else.
Should I? Twice in one day?
He's not teaching right now.
Do it. Can I put that thing back? Can I be like, I'm done?
Yeah. Be like, where does this go?
I know where it goes. So I saw him get it for me. Like, I know where it goes.
I feel like I forgot where.
Yeah, I'll be like, I don't want to ruin your super clean
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah, do that.
I don't want to mess up what you already organized.
Yeah.
Wait like 2 minutes though. We'll get back in class.
Okay.
That's
Or maybe I should just go in there and not say anything, just like put it on his desk. Just make him put it away. Oh,
That is actually kind of wild.
No,
Miss
don't do
Bishop, okay, what would you do if you came in here and just started screaming at Gretchen?
Would you
He wouldn't do that because of you, Miss Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
think,
would have tried that.
Yeah, he.
I don't think that he would. I think he knows better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
I
you
think
would-
like maybe like a month ago. Like,
What if
do you
you-
think he would have?
What if you were obscured at your son? Would you like be like?
Has me.
He has before, and I've not said anything because I don't know. Like, okay, but why is this? Why is it? Why
Should
would
I
that
get
be
him in
such a
here?
mess?
I can get him.
No,
If you
no,
want.
no.
Let's fight. Come on.
1v1.
I will 1v1. Who would win in a fight between Miss Bishop and Mr. Dermer?
You.
Miss Bishop.
Yeah, there's actually.
Miss Bishop,
no
you
question.
definitely have like that ghetto side of yours that you don't want any of us to know.
Okay. No, I'm proud of my ghetto side. So, several years ago, my mom and my sister and I went to a cigar festival in Milwaukee at the Potawatomi.
That's so awesome.
And there was like, if you had bought the premium like $250 tickets, you got to like go around and sample whiskey.
Ooh.
So we were all like living high. I mean Hawaiian Punch. We were sampling some Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah.
And it was great. And like so people were pretty like inebriated at this thing, and this man's is like trying to hit on my sister, who is like a model. She is like super beautiful. And
Is she single?
no, not anymore.
Oh.
And she was at the time, yeah. And this man is like trying to hit on her, and like then she comes up to me and she's like, he tried to grab my butt up my skirt.
Oh.
And I was like, point him out.
Yeah.
So then she pointed him out, and like I was like on him, like my eyes were on him like all night long. Like towards the end of the cigar festival was winding down, but we were gonna go down to the like gaming casino and or gaming floor and gamble for a little bit, because my mom really likes the slot machines. And so we went to the bathroom first, and he followed us into the bathroom.
No.
And I absolutely lost it, and I went off at him like I did to him the other day, and like. He's like backpedaling, and I'm like talking at him, but like walking in the other direction. And he's like, "You need to calm down." And he puts his hand on my shoulder.
Oh.
And at the same time, I slapped him and I kneed him in the crotch. And I was like, "You fucking touch me, and I will have security up here faster than you can even blink." And then like security was there, like because they were like watching the thing, and they like escorted him away. And then I talked to security and I said, "He's already groped my sister, and he followed us into the women's bathroom. He needs to be escorted from the premises." And so then they like separated us and told him that he couldn't be around us anymore for the rest of the night. But then on the casino floor, then I saw him again, and he was like following us.
Uh-huh.
And then so I like went up to like the bartender at the bar that was like right by our like slot machine like bank. And I was like, this man has already groped my sister and like has been told by security that he needs to not be around us, and he's still following us. I need you to do something. And so then they like had him removed.
You tell.
That is crazy.
But yeah, I threw hands like instantly. I like instantly threw
Do you
hands.
remember when I told
My sister
Lady-
was-
Okay, so going back to this, I get for my answer
Oh yeah, you
Why did you say that?
0.239 meters. Carter, did you get an answer for this? Did you work this?
Yep, I got that. 2399.
Yep. Okay, good. All right, so you guys should be able to manage this. Your homework for next time is number 6. This is chapter 10. We're on PP 303 on 304. I think. Yep. And I want you to do 3, 6, 7, 8, 11.
3, 6, 7, 8, 11. How do we grind this out?
You know, we're not getting 5 questions, and then.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Maybe like 1 or 2.
You could definitely get a couple. They're not that hard.
Yeah, no,
You do need a free body diagram for number 6.
Okay.
And it might also help you to draw out number 3. It did help me.
Ew.
Alright. In a room that is